Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry for last week. It got super busy and I just wasn't able to post a video at all or film a video, but I'm back and I got a couple videos planned for you guys, so let's get to it. So the first video I have is a book review, of course. Now I've been talking about it and talking about it and talking about it, and I finally finished. I literally read it on Thursday, and I finished Lagoon by Nnedi Okorafor. This book, so it starts off, I don't know how to go about explaining this. It's told from several points of view. Each chapter is a different point of view. And it's mainly starts off with Adaora, who is a marine biologist who lives with her husband, and then they have a domestic issue. He hits her and she pins him to the ground with some supernatural power that she didn't know she had. And then it switches to Agu, who's a soldier the story takes place in Nigeria, and he witnesses his fellow soldiers during a traffic stop trying to molest a woman. He attacks them and gets them off of her, but then they in retaliation attack him back, and he just gets his ass beat. And then a famous rapper named Nnedi Okorafor, he's doing a performance on the beach, and he leaves after his performance just to go stand on the beach, and they all end up meeting at the beach. And in that moment a loud noise happens, and it comes from the ocean, and they all drop to their knees. Birds fall out of the sky, bats fall out of the sky, and they all drop to their knees, and then the water pulls in and drags them into the ocean. And that's kind of how it starts. And you're just like, what? This book was dope. I like the way it's told from so many points of view, because it'll go from one point of the story coming from the point of view of a bat, the most enlightened bat in Nigeria, to passerbyers that are going around on this invasion. Because the book is essentially about an alien invasion within the waters of Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah, so with this alien invasion comes a new enlightenment for Nigeria, a change in Nigeria, specifically Lagos, because that's where it happens. It happens within the water of Lagos, right there in the little bay area. And it's a really good book. I don't want to get too in depth about it because I don't want to ruin any surprises or anything like that. But it does center around Agu the soldier, Adaora the marine biologist, and Anthony the rapper and musician. So it centers around them and their family and how they influence change within Nigeria. Now they're pulled into the ocean by this loud entity, which we find out to be the aliens that are taking over Nigeria. They're not taking over, they're just coming to stay in Nigeria. And we see them, and then they send out an ambassador who Adaora names Ayodele. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Ayodele. And she becomes an ambassador for the aliens. She's trying to get their word out, their peace message out to the humans. And so it's the four of them trying to get through this change that needs to happen in Lagos, Nigeria. It's a really good book. It talks about the social climate within Nigeria, the political climate within Nigeria, within the world, humanity, abuse. It's just on so many levels. It's a really great book, and I highly recommend it. I actually really love this book. And I don't have as many pet peeves as I did with the last book I reviewed, there isn't anything strange about the writing style that I didn't like. It flows really easily. It's hard to get used to the chapters being different points of view. Like every single chapter is a different thing, and the chapters are short. So like a chapter could be 1 page. Like I know I was reading it and it was like 1 page from the point of view of, I don't remember. It wasn't the spider, but something else. But the point of view changes. But see, this chapter, if you can see it, 1 page. So they change perspective over and over again, but it's important, the different perspective, to pull together a collective picture of what's going on in Nigeria. So I'm not too worried. So I don't really have any issues with the writing style. It's just for those who don't like that jumpy chapter to chapter thing, you might want to stay away from this book. But other than that, it's really good. Her writing flows really well. I liked a sci-fi book taking place in Nigeria. I think that's super dope. All of her books are like fantasy science fiction taking place in Africa, and I think that's really great because she's pulling from the mythology of the cultures, and it's just something you don't really see in sci-fi anymore. Because sci-fi usually is based around white characters doing white things. It's like black people that aren't involved in the future. People of color are never involved in the future when it comes to sci-fi books, and it's really, really weird. Or they're just like background characters. This book takes place in Nigeria, so everybody's black, everybody's African, and she's pulling from their cultures and it's just so interesting. I would compare it to, like, if you've read her book Akata Witch, which is really good. It's like Harry Potter in Africa. That's like the best way to describe it. That would be my elevator pitch of it. Harry Potter in Africa. It's really dope. So you should check that out. But I highly recommend this book. It's really good. It's a quick read. I was just having problems because I didn't have my glasses, and you know, you need to see. But I just bit the bullet and just binge read it to get through it because I wanted to tell you guys about it. It's so good. It's won a bunch of awards, and it's also, this story was inspired by the story Wizard of the Crow, which was written by Ngugi wa Thiong'o, I think is how you pronounce it. And I'm gonna try to read that next. If not that, then I'm gonna read Rendezvous with Rama, Arthur C. Clarke. Sorry, my brain's like off today, and I'm having problems pronouncing things. But really check out Lagoon. It's a great book, and I highly recommend it. So yeah, my next book review will probably be Rendezvous with Rama, the Arthur C. Clarke book, the really famous one. That one, I haven't read it yet, so I'm gonna read that and review it for you guys. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you have any questions or about the book, leave them in the comments below. If you guys have read this book, tell me what you think. If you've ever read any of Nnedi Okorafor's books, leave it in below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you didn't like the video, why are you still watching? You shouldn't watch this video. You can go now. This is for people who like to read weird sci-fi. Anyways, peace, y'all. Have a good Wednesday.